This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of October 28th, 2019. So much is changing. So many secrets are coming out. So much that has been hidden and below the surface or in the closets is becoming known. The veil is extraordinarily thin, and it does seem like a record number of people are crossing it quite suddenly. The week begins with us contemplating the radical change that's going on all around us. Many of us have already seen the doorway to the past being closed. There are probably still a few details to work out, but look around you and see how much is already radically different. I offer as an example a tornado last week coming down in my hometown of Dallas, and in the span of an hour, basically bombing a 17-mile stretch of homes and businesses and schools, many of which suddenly are no longer standing. Allow yourself some time to contemplate all of the massive changes that are going on in you and around you, and do please look for the ways in which you're actually being liberated by what is happening. Look as well for ways in which you can handle things differently. Use your energies in a way that is a little more elevated. Look for the higher spiritual possibilities in what is going on. Look for guidance. Ask for guidance in your actions, and probably you're going to do a few things differently than you have before. The bulk of the week does have to do with the deep, deep waters of Scorpio and all the monsters and secrets and treasures that lie in them, and with the veil that is so thin at this time of year. As we approach Halloween, the planet of communication is melding with the Lord of the Dead, and is also melding with the goddess of love, relationships, beauty, all we value, in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this can be Gollum, my precious, kind of energy, but it can also be getting down to what is absolutely, utterly most important. What is your treasure? Reprioritizing, knowing what is real, raw, and dropping all the rest of it. When I took training to be an AIDS volunteer in Houston in the 90s, one of the exercises involved writing out on index cards maybe 5 different aspects of life that were important to us, and one at a time we had to give them up. So we had to come up with a priority of what we would be willing to let go of. And it was a very revealing exercise to see what was most important to me at that point in my life. It was also extraordinarily difficult. You may be doing some of that unintentionally this week, and I would encourage you to actually consciously engage in that kind of contemplation. As we approach Halloween, we will be increasingly honest and candid with ourselves. We could be facing enormous terrors of our personal depths, the little men under the bed, in the closet, and it is highly probable that we will be having incredible, raw, primal communications, possibly face-to-face, possibly a sudden understanding, not so much sudden, a dawning understanding of what really matters, what we really, really value, and communicating that through our energies, if not through a specific surface conversation. And as this happens, Mercury is moving into his final retrograde of the year, which begins on Halloween at the very end of the sign of Scorpio. So he goes into this having had a confab with the goddess of love. Now, during a retrograde, it is common for ghosts to come back, for you to think about people you used to be involved with, for you to hear from or run across messages from or just encounter evidence of people from your past. You can be damn sure this is going to happen with Mercury having gotten a send-off from Venus in Scorpio before he retrogrades in Scorpio on Halloween when the veil is thinnest. Consider getting in touch with anybody on the other side that crosses your mind. If you find yourself thinking about someone, don't downplay it. Don't disregard it. You're very likely getting a message. You're very likely picking something up. Telepathy will be high. X-ray vision will be incredibly accurate. Go with your hunches. Honor the dead. Honor your loved ones on the other side, ancestors and friends alike. Mercury will be retrograde until the 19th or 20th of November. So for the first 3 weeks of November, we have a long time to deal with this energy. He will not leave Scorpio until the beginning of December. And when the calendar page flips over to November, the love goddess changes mode. She enters the sign of Sagittarius, adds levity and jollity and adventure and optimism and movement to the heavy, heavy energies we've been experiencing with so much in Scorpio. Venus in Sag is a good time girl. She loves the hunt. She loves adventure. She wants to go off and explore. Don't be surprised if there is an upsurge in socializing and parties, even amidst the dark and heavy Scorpio times. But it's not all frivolity, because her first contact is a growth aspect with Saturn, the guy who wants you to put a ring on it, the lord of structure, commitment, ramifications. She may be running all over creation, but there's something here that tempers her, that puts a governor on her running around. It's not just ghosting and having a good time, but there's some sense of seriousness and responsibility and an understanding of ramifications. The homing thought of the week: to thine own self be true. The song of the week: Our Lady of the Underground from the Broadway musical Hadestown. And the image of the week is the all-woman space flight crew. You can learn more about this in my guide to Mercury retrograde at Om Times, and also in the forecasts at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. There's bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I am deeply grateful to the people who are supporting my work there. You'll find me on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited, in the group The Astro-Insight Lounge, on Instagram at @KA Biehl, and on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.